Hey guys, welcome back to Raid Shadow Legends. In today's video, I want to talk about Ultimate Death Knight, which is the new beginner code champion that we can get. I want to talk about what I think the best download link I have to use with him is if you want to do it, and what kind of team I would build around him. I also want to take a moment to talk about what I think is still the best start in the game that you can have, which is not using Ultimate Death Knight. But once again, if you want to have some fun and play around with this guy and you just love the dude, well, you can always go ahead and build an account. Now, the code I just tested just now, and I'm going to upload this video straight after I record, so it is still active. Now, I heard rumors that it was meant to be only a 2-day code. I only found out about it a day in, and so I was like, it's a bit too late to get into it. But now we are past those 2 days, so I thought I'd make a video about it. If it does go down, it is what it is. Once again, I don't think he's the current best start that we have in the game, but I want to go through it anyway. So let's talk about Ultimate Death Knight. Now, basically, the download link that I would use that I have to go with him would be this one here, which I will leave in the description, which includes Mausoleum Mage, Fayne, Tagoar, and Deacon Armstrong. Now, let's go through why that is and his kit and what he has and what the other units are filling in. Because if you guys have watched any of my account playthroughs, my whole idea is when I create a download link is that download link plus the beginner champion plus, you know, the champion like Michelangelo that you get through logins. I'm trying to use all those champions that anyone can start with at that time and get to like really fast Demon Lord progression. For instance, on my most recent one, using only free champions, we used TAHANARAK and we got to Ultra Nightmare Demon Lord using only free champions in 27 days. So with this guy, he has a provoke on his skill 1. He has an AoE attack break that books up to 100% activation and a 3-turn cooldown. He has a really great survivability skill, which is a shield and continuous heal for all allies, and the shield is based on his defense. Everything is based on his defense, so you want to build him with a ton of defense. He also has this really nice passive where whenever an ally is attacked, it has a 100% chance to block the first hit. So multi-hitters, only the first hit gets blocked, but if they only have single hit abilities that are massive abilities, well, he's going to absorb it all for his allies. Now, the one issue with this guy is the chance of blocking a hit, and also it doesn't work on AoEs, but it decreases to a 50% chance on a boss, which is really sucks because this would be a really good way to have a champion basically avoid the clan boss's single target attack with the stun. It would really help with managing that ability, but it only goes to a 50% chance with bosses. That's the one sort of downside. But whenever an enemy is healed, heals his champion by 20% of that heal. That's not a bad ability to tuck into it. Then we have this one, increases his champion's HP, defense, and speed by 10% for each dead ally. This ability, along with an AoE attack, really good survivability, he's going to be a fantastic farmer in the early game for you. Not the fastest, obviously, but he's going to be reliable. So, I mean, that's something. I used TAHANARAK on my previous account for 2-minute runs. I think his runs would be quicker because of the AoE and the defense-based damage that you can stack on him. But I think he's going to be a very reliable yet slow-ish farmer for a new account. Now, the reason I think that this is the best link that I have to go with him is because with TAHANARAK, I dropped the Mausoleum Mage, but Mausoleum Mage, getting him, I think, is just important on this. You really want a good cleanser on your account no matter what, and not having TAHANARAK means you really want the Mausoleum Mage. He brings a defense buff, which your team doesn't have. He brings a cleanse, which you otherwise don't have. So I think the Mausoleum Mage is a great one to add in. Then we've thrown in Fayne. Now, the reason I've thrown in Fayne into this link instead of Anax, which I had in my previous one, is because, once again, if you choose to book Michelangelo, who is still ongoing for the chase, the login, if you choose to book Michelangelo, max booked, his attack break is still on a 4-turn cooldown. This, if you don't book him, is on a 4-turn cooldown. That way, we put Fayne in there because she can be an epic that you book up, and then you've got 100% uptime on your attack break. She also brings 100% uptime on the weaken, on the defense break, and then she also brings the poisons for damage. Now, it's that addition of having the attack break is why I would bring her instead of Anax into this one, just so you have that option to not worry about investment into UDK if you wanted to, especially this skill 2. So maybe you try and get his skill 3 maxed and then move on to booking someone else. That's kind of what I would be planning with UDK if I was using him. If you could luck out and get 2 books, that would be huge. So that's why we bring Fayne. We bring Tagoar because, you know, speed buff. Once again, we don't have a speed buff elsewhere to bring. On the previous account, you know, we still got Tagoar because he's just all-round OP. So Tagoar is just too much to pass up, in my opinion. Even though you may not use him absolutely everywhere, in general, he's just too strong with his heals, his revive. You know, he even brings a pinch, defense break, and extra passive mitigation. Speed buff. Too much to pass up. And then the final one we have in there is going to be Deacon Armstrong, who is from the Sacred Order. He used to be on the right-hand side. There he is. Yeah, Deacon Armstrong, gauge boosting, gauge reduction, defense break, leech, just an absolute unit. So that would be the team that I would go for and I would build for. And once again, you still get Michelangelo as well. So that would be the download link that I would use alongside the Ultimate Death Knight if you did want to do a playthrough. However, I still don't think that is the best start you can have in the game. You guys may have been watching my playthrough that I've had. If not, you can go through and watch it. I did a playthrough that is still my main account. We're about 45 days in now, saving up for the Leonardo event, where I used TAHANARAK. Now, Desert Queen code to get TAHANARAK, along with the download link that I'll leave this one in the description as well, which starts with Vergis. Vergis is absolutely amazing with TAHANARAK to solo your way through, or not solo, to 2-man, your way through the entire early game, you know, campaign progression. Really get through easy. Vergis amazing for soloing a lot of different content, and then also great in clan boss for that extra mitigation that he brings. So that's that one. Then we have on top of that, I should be putting these guys on screen. I apologize. And then on top of that, we also have over here is Anax. Now, he's the one that I mentioned instead of Fayne. He has the weaken. He has more poisons and more raw damage than Fayne, and he also has the defense break, but he does lack the attack break, but we don't need it because we do have TAHANARAK, who I was booking to max out the skill too, so it kind of worked out all right. And then we also have the of course the Michelangelo, which, you know, I kind of overlap it. Maybe Fayne would have been better in this one, but I was really happy with the progression I got using Anax instead of Fayne. Then we have the Tagoar. I mentioned Tagoar before, and also Deacon Armstrong. So that is basically what I would consider to be the best start you can have in the game, basically because I have tested it. TAHANARAK is a Void Legendary, and she's honestly just too good. So that is my personal favorite start in the game at the moment. But once again, if you want to do UDK, you can. However, if you do want to do a more damage orientated start, you can go with the other option that I think is pretty solid at the moment as well, which is using the DEMONSLAYER code to get THOLIN FOULBEARD. And then I've got a link for that one as well, which includes the Mausoleum Mage once again, the Tagoar. We've already talked about him, Deacon Armstrong, but the other one in there is going to be the Lightsworn. Now, Lightsworn's really nice because he is another Void. He's a Void Epic, not Legendary, but still really, really amazing because he brings the attack break. In the THOLIN team, you are missing out on the attack break, and you are missing out on a reliable speed break. So now you have that, along with a defense buffer, and then he's got 3 hits on his basic. But the other thing he brings, which I think a lot of people underestimate, and on the playthrough I did with this playthrough using THOLIN and these guys, the revive on death is actually huge. Like, you can get so many extra turns in the clan boss because of this revive on death. It's actually an amazing buff, even though it is on a 4-turn cooldown max booked. It's absolutely amazing, and I think this guy worked so well with that, with the combination of the THOLIN FOULBEARD. So those are the main starts that if I was starting an account today, I would look to using. Once again, I still think that TAHANARAK is the best start that you can have. But, you know, if you're looking for something a bit spicy and you've seen UDK and you think he's a really cool champion, well, you can go ahead and start it. Once again, UDK working at the moment. It was only, I heard, meant to be 2 days. It's still active, so I thought I'd make this video. If it does end, well, it's not the end of the world because, once again, I still don't think he's the best start you can have in the game. But if you do want to start with him, that is the download link that I would be using. And anyway, I'm going to shut up now. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.